Today I'm demonstrating foam rolling 101, 5 major intersections that most folks can benefit from if they happen to be stuck in the shoulders or the hips, or they have chronic tension in and around the areas of the legs. One of my favorite foam rolling exercises, and also one of the ones that are most missed in your traditional foam rolling routine, happens to be with the inner thigh using that large foam roll. You can use any size, but I'm going to demonstrate this one using the large foam roll in a vertical orientation to the body. Begin by placing the foam roll down the center part, as if you're dissecting your body into 2 halves, left on right. Bringing your knees out to the side, setting your legs up like goalposts. All I'm doing is moving to the crevices of the left inner seam, inner thigh. Start at the insertion points, and then begin to move the thigh, the inside of your thigh, from the hip toward the knee on that foam roller. One of the key points here is you don't want to support your body weight. If it's hot, there's some areas that really feel tender, take your time. Direct pressure, light friction, anything that takes the tension and brings the number of intensity down. So you find something that's interesting, feels like an 8, hold on to it. Take some breaths. It could be anywhere from 30 to 60 to 90 seconds or longer for that area to release, for the numbers to come down. When the numbers come down below a 4, you can either leave that spot, come back to it another time, or it may be gone altogether. My second favorite way of using the foam roller is to roll out the glutes. Oftentimes, folks spend hours sitting or driving with extended periods of time without moving. To just put yourself in that position on the foam roller, something that has a round surface to it, is going to move a lot of the attachments or the insertions of your glutes, largest muscle in the human body. Right now I'm sitting on my sit bones, those 2 notches underneath the glutes. Sometimes all it takes is just to sit with the legs parallel, your body weight even. Most folks have some asymmetry, so to address that, I'm going to take one heel to the opposite thigh and lean on the side of the uphill leg. Leaning slightly into the stretch, above it, below it, any spots that happen to be hot. Again, you can hang on that spot, apply slight friction to it, and feel the number of intensity go down. That's the important thing. If the number goes up, then it's too much pressure, and your muscles will constrict rather than relax. Same thing on the other side. That's foam roll of the glute. The third foam roll exercise I'm going to demonstrate is the IT band, the outside edge of the hip. It's really popular. You might have already done this one before on your own. Coming down to the elbow is going to add a layer of intensity, so if this happens to be too much on your shoulder or too much on the hip, then come up to your hand. This is a downgrade. I'm going to demonstrate rolling the outside edge of the hip. The foam roll is in a horizontal orientation to my body, so basically right at the level of the hip. And there's really no rules. The only reason that I'm rolling back or leaning slightly forward is because it feels like the right spot on my hip. What's nice about this is there tends to also be a very specific line of pull. If you find something that happens to be hot right at the top of that hip, then trace it all the way down your leg. Insertion to insertion, or origin to insertion, point to point. That's going to be from the hip all the way to the knee. If you find something hot, breathe into it. Again, light friction, direct pressure, but you want to complete that line from the hip all the way to your knee. Reverse. 3 to 5 passes. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, sometimes it takes a little bit less, depending on how much tension is right underneath the surface of that skin. And that's foam roll. The 4th foam roll exercise I'm going to demonstrate are for the calves. You can start by placing the calves right on top of the foam roll and just stripping them. You can do this with both legs on the foam roll for less intensity. Or for more intensity, cross one ankle over the other. Think of your calves as having 3 heads. Go right down the center. Turn your toes inside. to get the inner panel. So runners will be feeling this one, especially top of that gastroc. Turn your toes to the outside to get the outer edge. It really does depend on how your foot hits the floor, what type of footwear you're using, the surface, where the hot spots can occur. Same thing on the other side. I'm crossing my ankle to add some extra body resistance. Certain days I'll do crossed ankles, other days parallel feet, because it's too much. So always listen to your body. Foam rolling the calves is great for all sports, cyclists in particular, runners, folks that sit at their desks for long periods of time and don't get much circulation to the feet. And that's foam roll calf. The fifth foam roll exercise I'm going to demonstrate is for your lats. Basically the intersection from your hip to your shoulder. Lying on the floor, you want to be on your elbow. Begin at the level of about your chest. Turn your palm face up, and without holding your body up, don't use weight on that bottom arm. Use your top arm, your top leg, whatever it takes to maneuver on this foam roll. Begin to roll from your chest to your shoulder. Hot spots right about the level of the armpit, back of the armpit, all the way from the shoulder to the insertion of the tricep. Again, you find something interesting, put a little pressure on it, you can add small friction. Expect to use your breath. Depending on how often you foam roll, if it's been a while, if you've got some recent discomfort, it's going to take more than one or two experiences with a foam roll to really get to full relief. But I guarantee, even one pass of this will make your body feel better. And that's foam rolling of the lat. So now that we've gone over the 5 basic foam roll exercises, my favorite 5 in 101, you may be asking yourself, where am I supposed to do with this information now? How do I foam roll? It's a little commitment that goes a long way. Buy yourself a foam roll, use the one at the gym. But make sure to keep these rules of the road in mind. Anything you do for the front of the body, you also want to do for the back of your body. Anything you do for the inside, hit the outside. Anything for the right, do for the left. Anything for the top, also work on the bottom. It may not be that you're feeling tension on the right side of your body, for example, that the tension or the problem spot happens to be on your left. The body works in mysterious ways and everything is connected. Do both sides, because that may be the problem child. Keep it in mind, have fun with it. Foam rolling 101. Check out my awesome stretch video. I'll leave a link below.